Commentary. Why Eala did not need an Australian Open win to spark a movement. There are moments in sport that don't belong to the win-loss column. Alexandra Eala may have exited the Australian Open without a win, but she walked away with something more powerful, the full weight of a nation's loyalty. On Court 6 on Monday, Eala didn't just play tennis. She represented a nation. 4 years, her Australian Open run had always ended in heartbreak. Winning the first set in qualifiers against Japan's Misaki, but failing to pull through in Court 8 back in 2023. A straight set loss to Sweden's Rebecca Peterson in Court 13 in 2024, and a repeat of the same against Croatia's Jana Fett in 2025 at Court 15. Australian Open 2026 already set the scene, with Eala as the first ever Filipina to play as a main draw contender. When Eala finally walked onto the court, it didn't feel like a first-round match. It felt like a homecoming, a cultural gathering. Filipino flags were raised. Voices folded into one chant. "Let's go, Alex. Let's go." Wasn't crowd noise, it was a declaration. She opened with a bagel set, showing dominance and owning the baseline. It was the kind of start that makes you believe the universe is conspiring in your favor. Then the match turned. Alicia Parks, her American opponent, found her rhythm. Momentum shifted. The scoreboard flipped. And still the crowd didn't leave her. When Eala spoke after the match, she didn't sound defeated. "I felt so loved even when I was 5-2 down in the third," she said. That wasn't an athlete talking about tennis. That was a Filipina acknowledging what it means to be carried by your people when the moment doesn't go your way. That unshakable block of pride, noise, and godlike fanaticism that turns any one of ours into a cultural icon. Court 6 didn't feel like an arena. It felt like a diaspora reunion. Melbourne's Filipino community made their presence felt. This wasn't just fandom. This was the Filipino loyalty in motion. It was the Filipino diaspora stepping fully into visibility on one of the world's biggest sporting stages. The Philippines has always been known for our 3Bs, basketball, boxing, and beauty pageants. Eala changed that with tennis. When asked how she balances tactics with soaking in what this moment means for Filipino tennis on the world stage, Eala answered, "I'm big on compartmentalizing. So I think there's a time for each of those things. I think walking into the court and right before or during the match is not the time for you to look at the big picture. Like, I've done so many matches in my life. And although it's different now because it's a Grand Slam, it's my first main draw in Australia. It is just another match. I have to treat it as so. So I have certain routines I do, warm-ups when I'm there. It's such a competitive mindset that you're not thinking about what this does for the Philippines. You're thinking about what do I need to do in the next point. And then, of course, there are moments after the match when you walk off and you realize there's so many people and they give so much love. Then you reflect on it, and it helps cushion the loss, I guess. Depends how you look at it. But there are certain moments when I'm with my family, and we talk about kind of how much we have grown and the journey leading up to this. Those are the types of moments you can look back and say, wow, there's a lot of people today. Her singles loss wasn't the end of her Australian Open. In doubles on Tuesday, partnering Ingrid Martins of Brazil, she fought through a marathon match, even building a 4-0 lead before bowing out. Another loss. But was it really? Eala's rise isn't just athletic. It's symbolic. It's what happens when a nation sees itself reflected in a young woman who carries humility, discipline, and dignity into every room she enters. Eala didn't lose at the Australian Open. She arrived. She activated a global Filipino movement. She claimed a nation that has been waiting for someone to carry its sporting hopes without spectacle, without arrogance, and without apology. And she did it without winning a single match. That's not failure. That's legacy formation. In our culture, we don't measure success only by outcomes. We measure it by meaning, by who we become, by who we carry with us, by our why.